What is he?
Oh no, it's Ragiroth Enterprises!
I love to sing about the moon and the June and the springer. I love to sing about a sky of blue or a keyboard Enterprises.
How's it going, everybody? Ragiroth Enterprises here with another video. So, I wanted to do something a little different that I have not really done on my channel yet before. So now, kind of a staple since I started this channel, like a little over a year ago now, is whenever a new fighting game is announced with established characters, I'll always do like a top 10 or a top whatever list on who I want in the game. So I thought it'd be cool to kind of look back on those lists and see, I guess, how well they made out. Like how many of the characters on the list made it, how many didn't make it, etc., etc. First, I have to say it is really weird looking back on my older videos. It's like my hair color was different. I had no facial hair. I was in my house that I lived in for so long, but that's beside the point. So now the thing is, most of the games that I've done top 10 lists of or whatever, I noticed that they're either not out yet, like Soul Calibur 6 or My Hero Academia 1's Justice, or they're out, but they're still adding characters like BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle or Dragon Ball Fighters. So it wouldn't really seem fair to kind of analyze the roster when it's like there's still more that could come that could maybe add characters that were on lists. And then there's a game or so that I have that hasn't even officially been announced that I've done a top 10 list on. Looking at you, Mortal Kombat. Seriously, where's Mortal Kombat 11? But there's one game on that I've done a top 10 list for that has been out for a while. It's been almost a year, and I'm pretty sure they're not adding any more else to it. And it is none other than everyone's favorite fighting game of 2017, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. And if you can't tell by my tone, I'm being incredibly sarcastic. People freaking hated this game. But, I'm not going to go too much into it. I think it is kind of a shame, really. If I'm being honest, I really didn't mind the game that much. Is it my favorite? Hell no. But, I think, the game is fun. At least that had a story mode and all that. I think my main issue with it is, something that a lot of fighting games these days are guilty of, and Capcom is notorious for it. And there just wasn't that much to do. It's like you beat the story mode. Of course, I couldn't even play as everyone in the story mode. And then, like, there's an arcade mode, yeah. But it's like, you can unlock a couple colors from it for each character, but that's about it. And it's just fighting people online. There's no arcade endings, so there was that too. It was like, I don't know what they were thinking. And I know the graphics, they weren't the greatest. I'm not really someone that's going to let graphics ruin a game for me. I think the aesthetics could have been better, but it's like, I'm not going to totally let that kill the game for me. I can't tell people not to care about that, but that's all I'm really going to say with the game itself. I'm mainly talking about, like, the roster, which I know a lot of people don't really like either. But I guess I'm going to look back on my lists and see how I overall feel about it. Now, with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, it was a game I did multiple lists for. Since, kind of a long-running series, I did a returning character list and a new character list. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at both of them, and for any character that was ranking between 10 and 6 on each list, I'm going to give them 1 point. Then a character that was ranking from 5 to 1, I'm going to give 2 points. Now, there was honorable mentions on the list too. I'm really not going to count them in the total because it's like they were just honorable mentions. I'm just going to make them if they made it, they're going to be half a point. Kind of a complication with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is like I did that top 10 list. The game was like not that far from coming out. My channel was not created, when the game was announced. So it was pretty far along when I did that list. So I'm gonna factor in them later. Again, they're not gonna go for the total. They're just gonna be any characters that I feel like would have been on that list from returning or new. I'm gonna add. I think I'm gonna give them a point based. I guess I give them 1 point if they would have ranked between 10 and 6. 2 points if it was 5 to 1, and if I felt like they would have been honorable mention, it would be half. And I'm gonna add them all up, and I guess I'm gonna divide it and give it a score out of 10. It's like the top 10, so I figured that number would be easier to work with. Alright, so I guess let's get to it. So I'm going to go through the returning characters first. So number 10 was Akuma. Did he make it? No. Number 9, Blackheart. Did he make it? No. Number 8, Charlie Nash. Did he make it? No. Number 7, Trish from Devil May Cry. Did she make it? No. Number 6, War Machine. Did he make it? No. Number 5, Wesker. Did he make it? No. Oh boy. Number 4, Gambit. Did he make it? No. Number 3, Psylocke. Did she make it? No. Number 2, Vergil. Did he make it? No. Though he was rumored to be DLC, but he didn't make it. So with the honorable mentions, I had Iron Fist. Did he make it? No. I don't understand why he didn't even make it. He even had a show. Never mind. Another one was Hayato. Did he make it? No. And the last honorable mention was Deadpool. Did he make it? Nope. And my number 1 pick for returning was Venom. Did he make it? Actually, yes. So alright, for the new characters, number 10 was Ashura from Ashura's Wrath. Did he make it? Nope. Number 9 was Base.exe. Did he make it? Nope. Number 8 was Songbird. Did she make it? Nope. Number 7 was Jean from God Hand. Did he make it? No. Number 6 was Moon Knight. Did he make it? No. Number 5 was Archangel. Did he make it? Nope. Number 4 was Dante Masamune from Sengoku Basara. Did he make it? Of course not. Number 3 was Winter Soldier. Did he make it? Actually, yes. As a DLC character, just like Venom, but yes, he did make it. Number 2, Leon Kennedy. Did he make it? Nope. This one I had a lot of honorable mentions. Punisher, did he make it? Nope. Daredevil, did he make it? Nope. Ada, did she make it? Nope. Jury, did she make it? Nope. John Tolbane, did he make it? Nope. And my number 1 pick was Carnage. Did he make it? He did not. So, yeah, it's kind of a good thing I'm factoring in the characters that were announced before this list because, wow, yeah, that's not good. Those are not good turnouts. Alright, so here's where here's where both sides are gonna get extra points. For returning characters that I wanted that were known to be in the game before I made the list. First one is Dante. You know, I love me some Devil May Cry. Dante would have probably been. He probably would have been in the top 5. He would have probably been like upper middle. So I'm gonna get 1 point for Dante. Then there was Firebrand. He's another character I really kind of wacky character I like that was added to Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3. He was a character I always kind of wanted, even though I didn't really know much about him. He did make it. He would, you know, like Dante, he would have probably been in the later half of the list and probably pretty low on it, but I think he'd still probably make it out of the returnees. So I'm gonna give him 1 point. Then Nemesis from Resident Evil, another character I really actually wanted. He would have probably been like maybe around the same part as maybe Dante. So that's 1 point for him. Then Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider is like one of my favorite Marvel characters, if not my like favorite hero. And he thankfully made it, so he would have definitely been in the top 5. So I'm giving him 2 points. Alright, so then the new characters. The ones that were announced before I made the list was Jedah. Jedah would have been incredibly high on the list. He's like my favorite Darkstalkers character. He's one of my favorite Capcom characters, period. So he would have definitely been very high on the list. I think I just didn't really expect him because of the blood and stuff. I didn't think they'd kind of work around that with, I guess, the purple blood and stuff. But yeah, he would have definitely been high up there, so 2 points for him. Then there's Ultron. I did want him, I guess, thanks to the Avengers 2. I don't know if he would have been the top 5, but I feel like maybe he would have been like kind of like low on the list, but still kind of before the honorable mentions. So I'm gonna do 1 point for Ultron. And then there's Mega Man X. He was a character I also kind of wanted. He's probably in the same boat as Ultron though. Like I wanted him, but not like super terribly. So I feel like he would have been probably the lower half. So it's 1 point for X. Then last but certainly not least is Black Panther. Black Panther did make it as a DLC character, which was really ridiculous. And he would have probably been in maybe the upper half. So I'm going to give him 2 points for him. And the lists actually get a lot of help from the ones that were announced before, the game, were announced before I made the list. So basically what I did was I think there was a total of, so it was 20, and then the points that I got from all that was 16. And then I think like 16 divided by 20 was like 0.7 something. Basically, my final, I guess, score for it came to 7 out of 10. Now, I mean, and I think that is kind of accurate how I feel with the roster. Like, I don't think it's terrible. I think it's good. It's just not really, it's definitely not great. It's definitely not great. And I know a lot of people, are already like, what, are you crazy? You're giving that game a 7 out of 10 roster. Well, here's two reasons I'm gonna sum up why it's not that low. Well, first of all, I feel like one of the main, and again, I'm kind of generalizing here, one of the main complaints people had with the roster was that there was no X-Men characters. And I mean, like, look, I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, I love the X-Men. The X-Men was one of the first Marvel things that got me into Marvel. It was kind of one of my gateways to it, thanks to the movies. But I mean, like, if you look at my list, only like a couple X-Men related characters on the list. There's Psylocke, Gambit, and Archangel. And it's like, I know even if there was X-Men in the game, they would have probably been DLC at most. I mean, because it's like the staple characters like Wolverine, Storm, Magneto. It's like, yeah, I like them. Don't get me wrong, they're awesome. But it's like, me personally, I just don't really play as them that much. I mean, Wolverine's in a ton of games, so I guess it's like I like him, but I'm just kind of a little tired of him. Storm and Magneto, like, yeah, I like them, but they're just not, they're like characters I occasionally use. Not like, they wouldn't be like mains or frequents or anything like that. And it's like, with me, like, it doesn't really matter like how important or staple the character is. If I don't really like them, I don't, it's not really hurting the roster for me if they're in it, like, if they're not in it. Because it's like, look, if there were like Ryu or Chun-Li or Morrigan weren't in the game, like, would I be confused, kind of frustrated, like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, but it's like, I don't really use any of them, so it's like, it doesn't really affect my overall opinion on the roster. There's characters on here that I wanted far more than a lot of the staple X-Men that did make it in. So that, to me, personally, kind of helps the roster out a bit. And like, I should probably also clarify, this is just my opinion on the roster. This isn't like, me trying to give a general consensus on what people thought of the roster. If I'm giving a general consensus on what people thought of the roster, I'd probably say like maybe like 5 or 4 out of 10, probably. This is just, my what I thought of it ultimately, and just kind of using my lists I made, just kind of gauging how I guess I overall feel. And then the second reason is, I feel like, and I kind of already explained this, but like, yeah, there were a lot of kind of low points to that roster, but it's like the high points were high. Like, if you notice on the list, like, there was only one from each list that made it, but both of them were characters that were really high up there. It was Venom. Venom was number 1 for attorneys. He made it as a DLC character. And Winter Soldier, again, a DLC character, but still made it. I'm counting DLC in the roster because, that's why I waited so long to do this. I was just, after Evo happened, I figured, like, yeah, that's it. This game is done. There's not going to be anything more to it. And, like, Jedah is, like, Jedah and Venom are characters I've wanted to be in a fighting game, again, for a really long time. And I finally got them both. And, like, to me, that's a much bigger deal than having, like, Wolverine or Storm for, like, the zillionth time. To me, at least. Like, those characters are just like way cooler to me, and it's like, it was just really cool to be able to team them up, or like team Black Panther, Winter Soldier up. I mean, I know Black Panther, Winter Soldier, their characters, like, more so Winter Soldier are characters that I've kind of grown fond of just because of the movies. Black Panther I kind of knew beforehand, and because of the games and stuff, but I mean, even still, and it's like, yeah, Dante was like an obvious choice, and admittedly I like using Trish and Vergil more than him, but it's like, it's still friggin' Dante. It's like, him not being in the game not having any Devil May Cry at all would have definitely pissed me off. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, the roster was definitely flawed, but when it did do something right. It did something right. I think most of the new characters I either liked or didn't mind. Like the only one I kind of like was kind of like meh about was Captain Marvel, and even then I don't like hate her. She's just like meh to me. So yeah, it's like a decent roster. It's just not really a really good or great roster. So you know, it's I think a 7 out of 10 for me personally is a good score for it. So I think that about wraps this up. I guess it's like the next time I'd probably do this would maybe be for Dragon Ball Fighters or BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. I don't. The only thing is I don't know how much long. You know, they could be supporting those games for a while longer. Maybe My Hero Academia wants justice because I don't know if even if that game does well, I don't know if it's going to have that much DLC. These DLC characters post launch, so maybe that. And Soul Calibur 6 is probably going to take a while to kind of release their DLC characters. At least I noticed that with Tekken 7, especially because they're doing a season 2 now. So that could be a while. And but I mean, if you guys really like this, really like me talking about this, kind of giving my thoughts of what I guess I ultimately thought of a fighting games roster. Let me know, because it's like if you really like it, maybe I'll find another older fighting game to kind of rate the roster of, and I'll just do that. Even though I really didn't have top 10 lists of them, I'm sure I could figure out a way to rate them. This was just kind of the easiest way to do it. But I think that's about it. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. It's a free country. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, what you thought about the roster. Really just the roster, not the game. I mean, if you want to talk about the game too, you can do that, but this is more so just here for the roster. If you like this video and some of my other videos, so feel free to subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. If we can, let's maybe get this video to give me at least 50 likes. That'd be awesome. And as I always say, another time, another place, keep being awesome.